Alright, it's time to do more platform ranking. And unfortunately, I have decided to do the one region in Hollow Knight that has the most platforms in the entire game. The Kingdom's Edge. Now, in case you didn't know, right, hopefully you can see it a little bit, but here on Krita, these little green bars are the outsides of this, image, and this is the map for Kingdom's Edge. It is giant. Right now, this is all that we can see. This little box right here, that's all we see. That's like tiny compared to, look at this. It's massive, and because it's so massive and there are so many platforms, you might have seen it just now, I am actually going to be breaking up this region's platform ranking into 3 separate videos, because otherwise this might be like a 2-hour long thing, and I don't want to do that. So really, I'm going to break this up into 3 different regions, and it's kind of hard to tell, but we're going to break it up into this little area down here, into the main area, where the most amount of platforms are going to be. Then we're going to break it up into the other side, over here, where most of the, adventure stuff kind of happens. And then the last thing, we're going to break it up into the Colosseum of Fools. So really, today is going to be just a bunch of getting rid of all the platforms that are just way too many. So if you look here, if you can tell, this is all of the main area. This is where all of the platforming segment happens. And you can see each little dot here is a platform. And oh boy, am I going to give a number to all of them, because I have to do that. But anyways, let's start, roughly where a good starting point should be. All the way down here by the Abyss entrance. Or by the tram. However you want to say it. But we'll start down here. There's actually not a whole lot of platforms around in this area, except for like the Hive, but the Hive is its own area. We're going to worry about that on its own. So, let's just go ahead and start climbing our way out of here and start ranking these platforms by itself. Now, remember, in this platform ranking, video, it is not necessarily based on just, oh, I think this platform is good or this platform is bad, but I'm trying to give it more of an objective platform kind of ranking in terms of how I think it should be in terms of both casual and speedrun purposes. So some of these will be, good, some of these will be bad, and which ones are going to be more annoying, and so on and so forth. But that's how I'm going to be ranking things, and oops, I accidentally, there we go, okay. Alright, so with that being said, don't forget, these are individual platforms. If a platform is connected to the wall, or ceiling, or floor, it does not count. If it has multiple walkable surfaces on that platform, it does not count, and it must be floating and isolated. That being said, let's get to our rankings. Alright, so immediately upon, leaving the tram, you're going out this way, and you're starting your ascent into the Kingdom's Edge. You are greeted to this area. Now, obviously, you saw these 2 little bee guys down here, and you're wondering, if you didn't break the wall, surely there's something going on, because you see this giant thing right here. And so naturally, most people will probably enter and kind of climb up this way, close to the Hive. Otherwise, you will go like what I did and just immediately go, oh, spikes, let's see what challenging thing is over here. Now, the unfortunate part is that because there's so many platforms in this area, I think there's like 189, if I counted correctly, not including the Colosseum. There's over 200 in this area. This is like, yeah, this place has the most amount of platforms in the entire game. So I'll be honest, a lot of these are just going to get the most average rating, 5 out of 10. I'm just going to put that now, so don't hate me for this. Like, you can call it getting the easy way out, but also there's like 100 platforms we need to get through just in today, let alone all the other areas of this Kingdom's Edge. So really, I kind of like this platform right here. This platform I think will get a 6, just because, it provides a little bit of platforming difficulties because there's spikes, and it gets you to a soul totem. This one, not so much. I actually think this one's going to get a 4. It's kind of pointless, because you go here to go here, but you can't really go here. You have to kind of go here to here to here. or vice versa. So it's just kind of more out of the way. It's not that fun. But this platform here, this is good. I like this one. It's like one of the first platforms you see upon getting out here, and you have to climb up there. It's nice. Now all these really large insect enemies, they don't really do anything. They just kind of, you know, float around, and they're just peaceful things you can hit. They're just more accurate to say flying hazards, or at least like floating hazards. They don't really do anything, but they're nice. I like these guys. But all of these, you know, platforms, they're just kind of there. I'll give this one a 4.5 because there's so much around it. We have little B1, 2, and big boy here. And some of these ones, again, are going to be kind of similar. I think this will be a 5. This one will be a 5. This one actually is going to be a 6.5. And that's because inside the hive, you can actually exit through this way. This right here is a breakable wall. And upon breaking that wall, yes, you have 4 little bees, yes. But you immediately have your safe haven of resting ground right on this platform right here. And so I think it's really good, because also you can use this platform to go back in. This platform, honestly, I think I want to give it a 3.5. It's kind of occupied by this big bug. There's really no good in having it here, because you have to jump around him and then continue going up. So it's kind of more out of the way. It's more of a hassle, if anything. This one gets a 5. This one gets a 5. 5. 5. 5. I'm gonna give a 4.4 or 4.5 for both of these ones, just because they're both optional. They're still symmetric compared to like this one and this one down here, that it's like, it doesn't really matter which one you go to. Actually, you know what? No. This one gets a 4.5, this one gets a 4. Because a 4, you have to climb all the way up here. You have to have double jump to get up here. Or you pogo off the B, which is honestly more of a hassle, if anything. So this one gets a 4, this one will get a 4.5. This one, I'll give it a 5.5. It does lead to a geo chest, which is pretty nice, I guess. And then 5, 5, 5. This little area, pretty tame. This is not really hectic yet. You'll quickly notice when we get to the main area. Oh boy, there's gonna be a lot. But next up we have this little acid, like Isma's Grove almost area. There's not many platforms in here either. Actually, I believe there's only this one right here. This is the only one where it has one walkable surface not connected to anything else, and you know, it's just its own isolated platform. This one actually I kind of like. It provides a nice little bit of environment, because without this, imagine if this platform here was not here, it would be this giant open space, and it would feel very empty. So that's why I actually kind of like this platform a bit. You know, it provides a lot of environmental stuff, so I'm going to give it a 7. There's a soul totem here, but, you know, it's meant to be filling up space. Kind of unlike this one, where it has multiple surfaces, so unfortunately I can't rank it. But I do like this platform too. It's pretty nice. Now, according to the map, we're not considering, you know, the parts above here, which is like close to Isma's Grove, as part of the Kingdom's Edge, so we're just gonna move on. And this is where things will happen. You see, this whole entire area, from down here, all the way up here, these are all platforms that I must talk about. I just, my voice is getting tired just thinking about it, and I am not looking forward to it. But either way, we gotta do it. So immediately upon leaving this area, there's a breakable wall here, as you can tell. Immediately entering this area, you will notice, oh, that's a lot of acid. Oh, that's a lot of not floor. And then you jump around and you realize, oh, that's a lot of small platforms. And vice versa, most likely you're probably coming from this area, which is the King's Station area. Most likely this is probably where you're coming from. Immediately upon entering here, and you know, like, you're a little knight over here, and you're like, oh boy, that is a lot of platform. And then you jump and you're like, oh, there's a lack of floor anywhere. But yeah, most like, so we're actually going to start up here because this is probably where you will start. So we'll work our way down and then we'll work our way back up, just to make sure we hit every single platform and just to make sure we kind of follow the quote-unquote normal route. So this is the first platform you see right here. This is our first platform. This platform is actually really nice. I like this one. Not like, oh, it's such a great platform, but I'll give this one a 7. Mainly because it's immediately teaching you, hey, there's no floor around here. You gotta get good. So I like this one. Likewise, this one actually serves a similar purpose, this one right here. And I'm gonna give this one a 6.5, but it serves a very similar purpose that if you miss this one's your next closest friend. And because of it, it's like, oh shoot, if I miss this one, I realize I'm gonna fall real far. A lot of these ones, however, will just get a normal average 5 out of 10, just the most average platform thing. It's not out of the way, it's not really great either. And because it's gonna get these ratings, because a lot of it is just simply to get to the next place. Like, this one right here is gonna get a 5 because, well, you go down like this way. It's just the next step. And in vice versa too. You go up here, you go up there. There's not much really going on. So unfortunately, a lot of these ones will end up getting a 5 rating. But what more can you really ask? They're just kind of a platforming sequence. None of them are really greater or worse than any other one. This one does have one of those, the fools, the armored fools from the Colosseum of Fools. This one gives you your first hint of lore. And you realize, something is strange going up. Now, if you did go up, you might have seen this guy, the winged fool. This one also serves that same purpose, and it's kind of meant to realize something is wrong here. There are dead bodies just kind of laying around. So this one, I'm going to say gets a 5.5. I don't really feel all that justified in giving it a 6, because it is, again, just a platform. But I think it's nice because it shows you your first piece of lore of this area. I'm going to say this one gets a 4.5. It feels a little bit redundant, because you could just, without that platform, you just go like that. But with that platform, it's now in the way. So it's a little bit more of a hassle. Not that big a fan of that one. This one will also get a 5, despite there being a winged fool here. Mainly because we've already seen one, and it just kind of deepens the lore slightly. But not a whole lot. But these two platforms are pretty good. I'll give this one a 6 and this one a 6 as well. Main reason is because from here, well, I suppose if you're coming this way as opposed to coming down, you'll realize that Cornifer is right here. And not all the platforms really have the papers, except for these two. So if you're coming down, you might not be able to see very obviously, but there is a piece of paper right here, and that tells you should go inside. But if you're coming up from it, you realize, oh, there are papers here. Cornifer's nearby, and you have to look for him. So this, I guess it's kind of conditional, really. If you're coming down from the top, it might not be very great, but if you're coming up from the bottom, then it actually is pretty nice. So I'll give them a 6. That's just where I think it will be. So it gets a 5, 5. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't know why this one is here. I'll give this one a 4.5 because it feels kind of pointless. Because if you go here, there's really nowhere else to go except for go back. So it's just kind of extra, I suppose. This one, I think we'll get a 6 because it is our first platform upon leaving. Or our last platform upon, I guess, leaving, I suppose. This one will get a 5. This one will get a 5. You know what? No. This one gets a 5. This one gets a 6. The reason why I want to give this one a 6 specifically is because this is the highest platform. It might be hard to tell, but this is the highest platform among these 5 bottom platforms. And the reason why it's important is because you can crystal dash. If you want to crystal dash here, the only direction you can go is this way. Otherwise, you hit this wall. Likewise for every single platform ever. This platform right here, if you want to crystal dash left, you will hit this one, and it's really annoying. So really, this is the only platform where you can safely crystal dash in either direction in speedruns because it's very important to do so. I find myself very often going in this area and thinking, okay, I want to go fast, I have Crystal Heart, and I want to crystal dash in a certain direction. This is the only platform you can do that. If you're here, you can only go to the right. If you're here and you go left, you will end up hitting that platform. So it just kind of gets in the way. And so that's why I think this platform deserves a 6, because it's the only platform that allows you to do it in either direction. And my goodness, I like that. Unfortunately, this platform, just a 5. This one, I think I'm going to give this one a 5.5. If I'm not mistaken, this is the platform that has the respawn point. So if you fall into acid, you respawn onto this platform. This platform will become your your reset point. Like, oh, I fell. Okay, I know where I am. This is the platform that I can trust. If I'm mistaken and it's like a different platform, just pretend I put that 0.5 to that platform. And this one, 5. And we are not crossing this pink barrier. We are going to wait until later to do this area, because we still have a lot. Oh boy, do we have a lot. Alright, so back to where we started from. If this is where you're coming from King's Station from City of Tears, you're going to start climbing, and you'll quickly realize that that's actually technically the wrong way, unless you have Isma's Tear. Because when you climb up, obviously you can't go up this way because there's nothing allowing you to go that way. But you are forced to go in this direction. And there is a very, very difficult acid skip right here, where, if you look closely, there's like a little lip right here that makes it really hard to aim. However, you as the knight, let me redraw the knight. This is the knight. You can, as the knight, jump right here. Oh, I guess more accurately, you can jump, you can dash, and you can crystal dash right there and go underneath this little platform into the next area. Now, unfortunately, there is also another lip right here where you have to jump and then either dash or double jump out. And it's really difficult because, it requires a lot of precise timing. I've gotten it a couple of times casually in speedruns. It's still hard, but the reason why it's really nice is because there is the reason why it can be really good is because there is a respawn point right here. So if you manage to touch this respawn point somehow, you can actually just fall into the acid and respawn on this little platform. So it's pretty nice, but unless you know how to do that acid skip, this is the wrong way. So we're gonna rank it going up as well as rank it going down, because you're gonna do both. So naturally, this is your next platform from our first platform, the number 7. And this one is just another platform. If you went up first instead of going down first, you will not see this little fool. You will end up seeing this winged fool. And you kind of think, oh, why is he here? In fact, I think this little fool falls from the sky. Like, when you're first coming around here, this little fool will actually fall. And that gives you your first, panic thing. You're like, oh shoot, what the? Why did this guy fall from the sky? And that actually is, at least when I first played it, it was terrifying. And I realized, oh shoot, there's something up ahead, isn't there? So this one is actually a really nice platform. Unlike this one down here, I believe this one is just there. I don't think he actually falls. This one does. And it kind of teaches you something's above me. And that's the goal. I will be completely honest, I don't like these two platforms. They seem kind of pointless. They're just there. Because you can go this way, yes. But it's kind of out of the way because you have to go this way, this way, this way. As opposed to this way and then just wall jumping off. I guess it doesn't really matter which one's which, but to me, I don't know why. I don't like these small platforms. They give you less, less length for you to stand on, therefore it makes it harder to actually be on it. So I think these ones will get a 4.5. Nothing terrible, but it's just kind of, I don't really like it because they're too small. As opposed to these ones will just get a 5. And then you go to the acid area skip and yada yada yada. But that's like this generalized area. And in case you didn't know, there is a Wanderer's Journal right up here. I actually didn't know that for so long. If you climb this wall immediately upon entering, you can go get a free 200 Geo. Now, yes, technically this is the intended route, and then you go up here, and then you'll end up back out here. So we are also going to be going and doing this. So here's what we'll do. Let's pretend you just made it all the way around, and you are now at this location. This is now where you are, where the acid skip was going to be. But let's just pretend we're all professional speedrunners now, and we made the acid skip, and we're now over here. This platform is both really nice, but also kind of annoying. Because if you're a casual player, aiming for this platform falling down is annoying. And most likely you probably have already accidentally used your dash. If you know it's there, and you've already fallen a lot, you can prepare for it. But realistically speaking, it's still kind of rough. And even for speedrunners, it doesn't really do a whole lot other than, this is where the respawn point is. It's not a whole big, hoopla about it. So really, I'm just going to say this one gets a 5.5. I think that's fair. Nothing super special, nothing really amazing. But I think that's just how it's going to be. Same thing for this one. This one will get a 5. And then there's this guy. Everyone's least favorite enemy in the entire game. The Primal Aspid. No, I'm just kidding. But no one likes the Primal Aspid. If you ask anyone about like top 5 most annoying enemies in any video game, Primal Aspid is probably somewhere close there. And the main reason is because he shoots 3 different little spit acid balls in the direction of where you are. So if you, I guess in the direction of the middle one. So if you are in the line of fire of the middle one, the other 2 will go perfectly at the right speed and angle so that if you were to run away in that direction, you will probably still get hit by this as well. It's a lot of like, oh yes, I'm going to shoot at you, but if you're going to keep moving, I'm going to shoot one in the other direction so that you'll still get hit by it anyways. It's like, I hate it. And every time you hit the Primal Aspid, it will fire another spit. So if it's spit, and then the cooldown technically kind of finished, and you hit him, he'll spit again. So that also technically does mean if you hit the Primal Aspid while it's spitting, it will not spit twice immediately. It still has to wait until it's finished its spitting animation, and then it'll spit again later. So that's kind of like a small tip. You can kind of rack up damage real quick. Right after it spits, you can hit him with your nail, and then shoot a fireball, or the Vengeful Spirit, and you can deal a lot of damage really quick, and it won't attack you, very quickly. Now the nice thing is, if you have Shade Soul, and if you're in the right position, Shade Soul will actually, potentially, one-shot this guy. I know I'm going into a lot of like game mechanics right now, but if you Shade Soul this guy from a good distance with a good amount of spacing, it can double hit and one-shot a Primal Aspid. However, one hit of a Shade Soul is not enough. But that's why, like, just in general, these platforms right here are really kind of annoying. And that might be one of the reasons why these are going to suffer a little bit, because there's Primal Aspids here, and there's more up there as well. So this one here, I'm going to give this one a 4. This one also gets a 4. And you'll quickly realize, as you go up, there's another Primal Aspid there, there's another one here, and then there's even more up there. So this is a very common place that's very annoying because of it. I believe this is a platform. Doesn't really serve a whole lot of purpose. I'll give this one a 4.5. But it does offer a little bit of like, you go here to here. Not a whole lot. This one I kind of like. This one is just an average platform. Nothing good, nothing bad. But it also allows you to kind of see, oh shoot, there's another one. And you kind of have to plan around it. These ones are not bad actually. If you stand like, I think it's like right about here. If you're behind this line on this side, I don't think the Primal Aspid will actually see you. But if you're too close, if you pass this line and it's looking towards you, I'm pretty sure it will find you. It'll look at you and say, okay, enemy spotted, I'm coming after you. But that's that part. And then heading up. Yeah, these are all pretty relatively normal. There's another primal aspid here, big fun. Unfortunately, this one is going to get a 3 because if you are going to be using this platform, you are required to go near this primal aspid. And I'll say this always, rule 1 of Hollow Knight is jump at everything. And rule 2 is hit everything. And there's an enemy here. First 2 rules apply. Jump and hit at this guy, and you will end up, not having a fun time because of it. So this one's getting a 3. This one will get a 5. Just an average one. And thankfully, well, okay, maybe not thankfully, but towards the butt of Bardoon, this guy, there are no platforms here. So I can't really do much there, but no pun intended. But there's nothing I can do here with Bardoon's butt. If you want to go smack it sometimes, feel free. That should be a speedrun. That should be one of the dumbest. That would be one of the dumbest meme categories I will ever have seen. Bardoon butt percent. And that seems like something I would do. New speedrun idea. Bardoon butt percent. Anyways, back to the task at hand. We are close to the top now, but I'm gonna finish off this little area first because, this is now like the main area. So we still have, yes, a lot to go. We still have this entire like little chunk here, and we still have, over there. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Oh, that was fast. Why don't you do the other 2 parts? Well, because the other 2 parts I actually want to take a little bit more time. This area specifically that I've chunked off, I just want to tackle on its own. Having to do, all of this area at once, I just don't want to do. Like, sure, I'm thinking now, like, oh, that was not that bad, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I just don't want to do it all at the same time. Doing platform rankings is already annoying as it is. Alright, upon entering this area, I believe, unless you have somehow managed to, gather all the primal aspids up here. Oops. Unless you manage to get all the primal aspids up in this, like, generalized location, you need the double jump to get up here. So you do need the Monarch Wings to access this little area, unless you're trying to crazily do a primal aspid pogo to get up here. I don't know why, because there's really nothing up here to benefit, but if you want. And this one right here, because of that gatekeeping and because of, like, now you should have the double jump, this whole area becomes slightly easier. And so this one I think will get a 5.5 just because it now teaches you, okay, well, you made it up here, congratulations, you still have a little bit more to go. This one will get a 5. This one will get a 4 because a 1 and a 1, 2. And then this one, I'll give this one a 4.5 because realistically speaking, if you're here, if you're standing on this platform, this guy already sees you. He's already coming after you. And because of that, you're going to be running. So right here, this platform is not going to be terrible. This one gets a 5. This one gets a 5. And then we are at Bardoon. And cool enough, Bardoon sits upon his own individual, walkable, isolated platform all on his lonesome. Bardoon, I believe, is a caterpillar? I think? I don't think he actually says what he is. I don't know if he's a caterpillar or some kind of weird worm. Hard to say. All that we do know is that he is here. And he's a pretty chill dude. You talk to him and he's pretty cool. This is a large platform, but there's also a cool guy on top of it. And as such, this one will get an 8.5. I think it's very well worth an 8.5. Giving it a 9 seems a little bit too high, but an 8.5, you've made it all this way, and you get to chat with a cool guy on this large platform. You've earned it. 8.5. But that's all this area has to offer. Just a little bit of lore, not a whole lot. And obviously there's a Lifeblood Cocoon here, but you have to wall climb to get up there. So there's no platforms in here that I can rank. Okay, this other main area. The way you get over here is through this part. But just like in the first main area, you can go up or you can go down. And if you go down, you just head back to the, other big main area. And if you go up, well, you head towards the Coliseum Fools. So we're going to start by going down because it's a little bit shorter. And also because technically this is a one-way. There is a loading zone right here. If you go past it, well, you can't go back up. So we're going to go down first, and then we'll go head up. So immediately upon exiting, I like this picture of this guy. This is most likely your first platform. This little square boy right here. It's pretty good. It's not bad. I will give this one a 5.5. And immediately you can recognize, oh dear, danger. If you recognize this guy explodes, this guy is one of the most annoying enemies in the entire game, you want to get the heck out of there. And if you're going down, this platform right here is a trap. In fact, these two platforms right here, this one and this one, those are both traps. Because this guy can fly right into it, but if you try to leave and if you try to like escape onto this platform and you think like, okay, I'm on this platform, I'm safe, JK, he's gonna turn and he's gonna hit you for 2 masks of damage. So really, this one will get a 3. This one, for its deceit and its lies and its false sense of security, this one's getting a 2. It's a rough world out here in Hollow Knight. Hallownest is not a safe place, and Kingdom's Edge most definitely is not a great place to be for casuals. Or, I guess, noobs at the game. Even if you're casual, it's okay, but if you're not good at the game yet, yeah, this place is hard. However, these next couple of platforms, kinda useless, kinda not. They're just okay, I suppose. We're going back to ranking them with 5s because now they're just kind of whatever. Maybe this one will get a 4.5 because there's a Primal Aspen nearby. This one, that's a 5.5 because it does allow you to safely traverse onto this little walkway with the Geo chest. But yeah, a lot of these are just platforms. There's not really a whole lot to say about it. I'm sure you know why I gave this one a 0.5. Alright, and then we kind of enter the odd realm where a lot of these ones, sure, they might seem like they should count, but a lot of these ones will sneakily have more than one walkable surface. So right here we have 2 walkable surfaces. We're not going to count that one. So we're going to encounter a couple of those ones. I think there's like, yeah, this giant, massive, weird-looking one with a Tiso. And then you'll find a couple more up here, so on and so forth. But now it's time to climb. Going back to where we started from, our first platform, and if you decide to go up, it's actually pretty safe. Well, sort of safe. If you are on this platform right here, let me, if you're here, if you're here, obviously, yes, danger. But there's technically hidden danger with this guy. If you jump onto this platform, he will not actually activate to see you or fly or anything. But something that I accidentally have done a couple of times in the past is, oh shoot, I did not see this guy, especially if you're coming from from the top to the bottom. Then you land on this platform and you think, oh shoot, that's a guy who explodes. But first, before that thought is, oh shoot, it's an enemy. And then you will pogo off of him through the platform, and he will instantly explode, and you will take 2 masks of damage. I've done that before. I might just be dumb, and some of you guys might just be smarter, but this is technically unsafe. So this one will get a 4, simply because immediate danger and potential danger, if you're dumb like I was. But there's that. And then, yeah, a lot of these platforms are really small. It makes it really hard to traverse. So unlike these ones, right? A lot of these ones are relatively good. This is probably like the only small platform around. But especially when you're going up with potential dangers, small platforms become very, very annoying. So something like this one right here. Obviously, I'll say that this one gets a 5. But if you're still running away from the Primal Aspid on this tiny platform, this platform becomes really hard, because you might accidentally overshoot it, undershoot it, or get hit, and you fall. So this one, obviously, I'm going to say it gets a 4.5 because it's too small. This one at least has slightly bigger length as opposed to this one. Like, look how small it is. So really, the smaller the platform, especially in the heat of danger, the worse it's going to be. And obviously, from here, we can go from two different ways. We can go this way, or we can go this way. And it doesn't really matter which one we're going to go through. I'll just go however I feel, because there really is no correct answer at this point. So I'll just finish off the ones that are floating in the main foreground, and then I'll probably head to the right. This one, it's a 5. 5. This one, I'm gonna say it's a 4.5. It doesn't really serve much purpose. Without it, nothing really changes. The fact that it's there also doesn't really change a whole lot. So it's just kind of okay. But then onto the right, yeah, these are just platforms. There's nothing really special about them. They're all just average platforms. This one will get a 5. This one will get a 4.5. This one, I wanted to give it a 4.5 at first, but I'm actually going to end up giving it a 5 because I think this is also one of the few platforms where the Winged Fool will actually fall. And I think, yeah, it's hard to tell, but there's like a hole right here. And that hole actually is where they drop from. And this is one of the ones where they land. Oops. This is one of the platforms where they land on. And I want to give it a 4.5 because of this guy. You know, you're running away from him. But it does provide a little bit more lore because it's like, oh, shoot. Another guy fell. I must be getting close to the top. So I'm going to, you know, just have it. And then, there's not a whole lot here. There's a couple of stuff around. So let me speed through this real quick. On this side, I think this one's not bad. It's not great. Yeah, you know, as is almost with all of these. This one is a troll, though. This one, dignified 5. This one, dignified 4. Because there's an exploding boy right here. And in case you're not hearing him, because they do make little squeaky noises, like, I actually have no clue how they sound, other than squeak. If you don't hear them, your natural instinct is probably, okay, I'm over here. Oh, what's this over here? Nothing? Okay, let's climb up here. Climb up here. What's on top of here? Oh, hello. And he explodes. That's probably most likely what happens, because very few people will know just to go this way and then zoom this way, or simply just go up this way and ignore that platform entirely. But if you get used to speedrunning, you will quickly recognize, oh, these are the two platforms. There's a guy above me. I should just zoom past it as quickly as possible. But also, going up this way doesn't really have a whole lot of benefit. It's actually slow. So if you look at it, you will have to go out this way anyways. So it's actually, I think, slightly faster. Kind of go around and then this way. I think. I could be wrong. Other professional speedrunners, if you know the actual answer to that, no, just say it. But a lot of these platforms, again, still just kind of average. They don't really do anything special. There's nothing really unique about them, so they're just going to get 5s. This one will get a 5. This one will get a 5. This one specifically, I think, will get a 6. It's a little bit of a troll, but it also, it's a challenging platform. When you get here and you jump up, this part right here, this little, I guess, cave is actually dark at first. It only gets lit up after you jump into it and you recognize, oh, there's an exploding bar right here. And you have to leave as quickly as possible. Because if you land here, you get hit. If you land here, you get hit. If you decide to land on this platform and just chill there, you will still get hit. So really, you need to book it. Immediately upon seeing this guy, you have to come down here and dash. I guess technically in either direction, but it's safer to dash to the right. Because unless you land on this platform here, I think he might be able to reach. But if you wall jump here, on this little edge right here, you're safe. But if you go to the left, well, you will have a potential of just falling all the way down again, and you have to make that climb again. So my recommendation, dash to the right. Now, unfortunately, because of these two little walkable platforms, technically we cannot rank it. Because there's more than one platform and it's all connected together. Unfortunately, this platform, out of the question. Moving on. This little area. This little area is not bad, but it's just kind of okay. I'm not gonna lie, these two platforms right here are first, these two, its sole purpose is to get up here. But there's nothing there. So it's like, why? So I feel like these two platforms, outside of the fact that they, just fill the environment, make it seem like it's not as empty, outside of that, they don't really serve a whole lot of purpose. So really, these are not great platforms in my opinion. I think both of these will get a 3.5, because they don't really do anything. They're just there. Nothing more to say, nothing great to say about it. This platform right here, I'm going to give this one a 4.5, not because this guy can somehow curve all the way over there and reach you, but because it's dangerous. Especially for a casual player or someone who's not really used to the game yet. You might see this guy and just kind of panic or just simply go out of the way. But this platform right here, if you just jump and dash before this guy really has time to really fly towards you, you'll make it. The only issue is it's a small platform. And it's not fun to try to aim at it. So really, it's just kind of like, yes, it's not a bad platform per se. It's not like a terrible platform, but it's also not a good platform either. So it's like, it's a 4.5 in my book. This one, again, now we're getting back into the realm of, oh, these are all just platforms. Nothing big, nothing cool. Primal Aspid. And yeah, there's really just not a whole lot here. But yeah, that's relatively just the kind of entire main area. And sure, yes, there's a lot. Yes. And I could talk about each one of them specifically, like, yes, this platform is average. This platform is also average. This platform is also average. I ain't gonna do that. I don't got time for that kind of stuff. Oh, shoot, I forgot I missed one. This platform right here. This one is indeed isolated and only one walkable surface. This one's pretty cool. But it's also, it's just kind of there. 6. Nothing cool, nothing special. Because you can just go up this way, or you can go the cool way. But regardless of, if you couldn't go this way, then this way becomes the required route. And I'll be completely honest, that's just okay. It's just like, whatever. If it's there, nice. If it's not there, okay. It's not like a whole lot was lost. So this one just gets a 6. But we are approaching our last little area of this segment of Kingdom's Edge. They are going to be slightly shorter than usual. This is not going to be like a 2-hour or 1 hour, like, well, actually it might be 1 hour. But this is not going to be like as long as my usual platform rankings one. But that's because I'm breaking up into 3 different videos. And so, yeah, this is just the first video out of 3. We'll be going through this area, the other area, as well as the Kingdom of Fools, the Colosseum of Fools. And in the Colosseum of Fools, I'll explain how we're going to rank it because it's very, very hard and very complicated. But I'll get there. I'll explain it when we get there. For the time being, we only have a couple platforms left. There's not many left over. From here, we have this platform up here. This platform is actually kind of nice. It's like your safe haven because of this explodey boy. If you go up here and you see that explodey boy, well, you can just go back down there. It's actually pretty safe. This one, because of that, I'm going to give it a 6. Otherwise, it's just kind of there. There's really no purpose of it. But it does serve a nice purpose of shielding you from that explodey boy. And this one up here, I'm going to say it gets a 5.5 because it does have a geo chest. Or, no, geo rock. I've been calling them geo chests. It has a geo rock, Pretty nice. Gets you money. Not bad. I am sad to say, though, this platform right here has 3 separate walkable surfaces. As much as it could have been just one big piece of, just platform, they decided not to do it, and therefore I can't count it. I cannot rank this one, even though it kind of seems like it just should be. But we do have a couple more over here. And a Great Hopper. Cool. But we have this guy. All these platforms, I'm not gonna lie, they're just there for environmental purposes. There is nothing, like, above these platforms, there is nothing. There's almost no point going up here. So really, these platforms don't serve as platforms, they're just there. They might as well be connected to the ceiling. And because of that, I think they fail as platforms. Not necessarily terribly, because they do serve the purpose of filling in space. Without this, oh dude, this place would be empty. Look how big this place would be without them. But they don't really serve as platforms. They serve as, just environmental things. So really, these are bad platforms. This will get a 3. I guess this one can get a 3.5. Because at the very least, you can kind of climb this one and just kind of have a high advantage ground for when... Sometimes these hoppers will eventually end up over here. But other than that, there's really no purpose. And then the moment you get up here, it's like, why am I up here? Well, what's the... What? I might as well just hop back down from here, right? So it's like, they're not good platforms. They're just there to take up space. And then there's this small platform, yes, but this small platform is actually not a bad one. This one will get a 5. Some of the hoppers, these enemies, they can eventually get all the way over here. But obviously they can't reach you when you're up on this platform. Also, this guy, Explodey Boy, the best he can do is explode here, but his explosion does not reach that platform either. So if you make it up here, you are safe. And yeah, that's really about it. So this platform, even though it's small, even though there could be potentially like, oh, there's enemies nearby, this one should get a little bit lower. It's just average. It's not bad. And then we have our last little leg of platforms, quote-unquote platforms, because they don't really do anything either. Just like these platforms down here, that they just kind of there to fill up space. I'll be completely honest, these platforms don't really serve to do anything either. This one will also get a 3. Because if you notice, Explodey Boy, Explodey Boy, Explodey Boy, and Coliseum of Fools. But what's the purpose of it there? Nowhere else in this room, oh, I guess except for over there, nowhere else in this room is there a platform. This might as well just be a long hallway. So it's just kind of, I don't really see the point in this platform other than to shield you against our first Explodey Boy. It's just kind of, why? So this one gets a 3. Kind of similar to these ones. There's really no point in trying to climb up our 3 platforms here. They're just there. So really, again, these platforms are not good platforms. They're just environmental stuff. So I will be honest, this one will get a 3. This one will get a 3. And I'm going to give this one a 2.5. Because there truly is nothing up there. Its sole purpose is so that this guy can be closer to the ground as opposed to all the way up here. That's literally its only point. And if a platform's purpose is to hold an enemy that has no benefit to the knight, that's not a good platform. That's a betrayal right there. This platform has betrayed us. That's why it's only earning a 2.5, because it still has the purpose of having an enemy there, thus providing some kind of challenge. So that's just my thought about it. Now, I will be honest, this is a slightly shorter video as opposed to all of them. I probably will not be editing most of these ones because I can just go straight through all 3 of them. But this is our first of 3 sections of the area. We have this entire little mini section right here. And I guess the beginning parts of the hive. But next, we will have this rest segment over here, where you can see Oro all the way over here, and Hornet over here, and just like generalize this entire area. There's a lot of good platforms here. I wanted to get this one out of the way first because, you know, a lot of these ones are just average platforms. There's a lot of 5s. But in this one, there's a lot of good platforms out there. And there's a few bad platforms. Like, real bad. But there are a lot of good platforms here that actually make me want to talk about it. So really, this section right here, even though visually it may not be as much as this one, that one might be longer. And then Coliseum Fools will be the last one, and we'll talk about that one later. But for now, this is going to be the part 1 of Kingdom's Edge platforms ranking. I hope you are satisfied with the rankings. If you didn't agree with one of them, again, just let me know your reasoning. But this is where we'll stop for today, and I'll continue this at another point in time. Anyways, I'll see you in part 2. Yeah? Have a good rest of your day or your night, depending on your availability.